And these laws were published in 1687.
The force of an object is equals to its mass times its acceleration.
And for the last law of Newton is called the action-reaction law.
It is amazing how observant Newton is in emphasizing the interference of force in moving an object or stopping an object from moving.
I like this second law because
And yes, that's it.
There are two opposing views that describes how the universe works. First is that the universe is a well-defined objective reality, and second is that it is continuously and flexibly changing. However, there are sides that argues both of these worldviews. Thus, what we really need to know is how the patterns of nature can be understood.
Let's begin to discuss the laws were created by Newton. And these laws were published in 1687. The first law was the law of inertia. A body continues in a state of uniform rest or motion unless acted upon by an external force. For example, if you roll a ball, it will continue rolling unless friction or something else stops it by force.
the second law of Newton is the law of acceleration. It states that the force of an object is equals to its mass times its acceleration. One example is the push cart in the grocery store. It is easy to push the cart if it is empty, but when it is loaded of stuffs, it becomes heavy. Therefore, it explains that force makes the object move. The heavier the object, the more force you need to make it accelerate.
And for the last law of Newton is called the action-reaction law. This law says that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. For example, action-reaction makes it possible for birds to fly. The wings of the bird pushes the air downwards, and the air pushes the bird upwards in turn. So that's all for the law of Newton.
A word solve undergone a series of changes and applications of constants. It is applied to find a formula that describes how the system works. But why did people search for formulas? Because it can be an approach to know what kind of motion might occur. Just like in Newton's law of motion, he pursued this insight that the changes in nature can be defined through mathematical process, just as the forms in nature can be described through mathematical things. Truly, mathematics effectively grip and interpret those patterns, and we are starting to understand nature in its own terms.
And yes, that's it. We finished discussing all the Newton's law.
Among the three laws of Newton, I choose the third law, which is called the action-reaction law, because we can apply it in our lives. For example, in whatever things you do, there is an equivalent consequences to it.
Among the three laws of Newton's, I like the second law because its message to real-life situation. For example, when you want to have or achieve something in life, you need to make great efforts. The more efforts or force you make, the greater the outcome.
For me, I will pick all the Newton's law because Newton's law are important and they are the foundation of classical mechanics. Also, one of the main branches of physics.
The law of motion that caught my interest is the law of inertia, which conveys that an object at rest will stay at rest unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. It is amazing how observant